Hello, welcome to the Liberated Multitasker. So I'm still trying to get some convenience meals in my freezer. So today I have two more low-carb, keto-friendly freezer meals. So come join me. So the first thing we need to do is preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Now I'm going to attempt to do two casseroles at the same time. So this is going to be our keto taco casserole, and this is going to be our chicken fajita casserole. Now, we do not always eat casseroles. Lots of times I will cook Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, leftovers Thursday, and my husband grills Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And even when I cook, lots of times I will do a meat and two vegetables and that kind of thing. But casseroles are easy to freeze and throw together, so I do several of those as well. So for the keto taco casserole, I'm going to use 2 pounds of ground meat. This is from the cow we had processed. I'm going to cut my skillet on. So I'm going to grind this up. We've had this once before. It was what I call husband approved. And this does not have to be a freezer meal for you to cook and enjoy, but we have frozen it and it did fine. I'm going to let this start to brown up before I add anything else. Now with the chicken fajita casserole, it tells you to chop up your chicken breasts or chicken thighs and saute them in olive oil until done. However, I'm going to cheat and use a rotisserie chicken. When I'm selecting which casseroles to cook at the same time, the main thing I'm looking for is what requires the same temperature in the oven and about the same time to cook. So both of these will cook at about 350 degrees from anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes. And when I do a casserole like this, I'm prepping them for a 2-person, and I can get anywhere from 2 to 3 meals out of one casserole, depending on the casserole, and if I follow the directions. Sometimes if a casserole calls for 1.5 pounds of ground meat, I'm going to go ahead and use 2 pounds. Now we are doing low carb in our family most days. We've had a couple of cheats. We did strawberry shortcake the other day. So obviously that was not low carb, but we have fresh strawberries in the garden. And I pulled a pound cake out of the freezer, sliced it up, and had some whipped topping, and that was easy. If you want to know a quick and easy cheat for strawberry dessert, buy you a pound cake or pound cake slices from your grocery store or Walmart. Slice your strawberries, add a little sugar, let them juice up, whipped topping, no baking required, strawberry shortcake. I'm sure I'm not telling you anything you do not know, but I remember I was in my 20s. I just had my first child, and my mom came and stayed with me for a week, which my husband loved. And she did a little dessert every night she was there. And so one of her cheats was she went and, I don't even know if they do them anymore, but a little yellow cake with a little indentation in the middle, and she piled it full of strawberries and whipped cream, and we just thought that was the best thing. All right, so this is starting to brown, so I'm going to go ahead and add in these other ingredients. So let's see. It says half a large onion, and I'm just going to put a whole cube. And this is a red onion. And it says half a large bell pepper diced. I just pulled some out of my freezer and diced some. So I think that's probably about a whole bell pepper. And 2 cloves of minced garlic. I'm going to add that in there. I'll let all this cook together. I love when we use bell peppers. It adds such a lot of color. Bell peppers have a lot of vitamin C. It's really pretty. All right, so while we're letting that cook, I think it's about time I start sauteing these vegetables. So I'm going to use some olive oil. I'm not measuring, just go sprinkle some in there. So I have here about 2 bell peppers and a small onion sliced. We're going to saute until these are tender. Now these onions and bell peppers did not come from my garden, though I have quite a few peppers in my garden now. I've already harvested some jalapeno peppers, and my husband cooked poppers on the grill the other day. They are so good. Look at the difference. So this is the taco seasoning I bought from Azure Standard. This is fajita seasoning, but it was in a package that I got from Walmart. Now I know there are different kinds, but the color difference is amazing. These are beginning to soften, but I think they need just a little bit longer. I just think that's so pretty. Now here, I'm just waiting for the ground meat to not have any pink in it. This pan's a little big for the eye, so I'm having to make sure any pink pieces get in the middle so it can be good and cooked. Now, I think this is getting pretty tender. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the next step here, which is going to be to add our chicken. This is my rotisserie chicken. I'm going to get that broke up. Lots of times I will vacuum seal it in bigger chunks because I'm not sure how I'm going to use it. So I'm going to break up some of these pieces. Also, it's time for me to stir in the seasoning. So I'm going to use this fajita seasoning and go ahead and sprinkle this in. This is going to be pretty full. I have to be careful not to make a mess. So I'm going to cut this off. This is done. I'm going to need to strain this, and then I'll add it back to the pan. So I also need to add the sour cream and cream cheese. So I have 1 cup of sour cream and 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. Now I've done several other low-carb keto-friendly meals. I'll be glad to link those above. There's one that's really good, but that I don't think will be freezable. That is the taco lasagna. It is really good. And 2 of the other ones that I've done that are freezable is the taco cabbage casserole and then the cheesy chicken skillet. So you may want to try those. So in this bowl, I'm going to be combining 4 eggs. I have farm fresh eggs. I've got 4 of those. And about half of my cheese. So let's put about half, and it calls for 2 cups of cheese. So I'm going to be putting about a cup of cheese in here. Maybe a little more. There we go. And I'm going to stir this around, making sure I get these eggs beaten slightly and all mixed in. That looks about right. Now time to add my ground meat that's been drained mixture back into the pan. Now we're going to add our taco seasoning. 4 tablespoons. Now I did not drain this grease in my sink. I put a plate and some paper towels under my colander. When I drained it, I caught that, And then I may even put that in a Ziploc bag before I put it in the trash so it will not leak in my trash bag. This looks good. I'm going to stir this up one more time. Make sure all that sour cream and cream cheese is incorporated throughout the dish. Both of these recipes come together fairly quickly, especially if you use a rotisserie chicken. You know I love to do that cheat. Okay, this is looking better. Feel like that's mixed in really well. So now it's time for me to pour the meat mixture into this casserole. I'm going to spread this out evenly. Looks really good. I wish you could smell it. Now I'm going to take the eggs and the cheese mixture and pour it evenly over beef mixture. And I'm going to spread it throughout and then just gently mix it so it's kind of in the meat. Now I have about 1 cup of cheese left, so I'm going to sprinkle this on top of this casserole. So this one's ready to go in the oven, and this one just needs me to add the cheese. So we're going to sprinkle this cheese on top. It takes about 2 cups, and we're going to put it in the skillet. Because it's cast iron, we can put it in the oven. We will need to be careful when we pull it back out. Now, a lot of these recipes calls for like a Mexican blend of cheese. I just use a combination of pepper jack and medium cheddar. Sometimes I'll have some extra sharp or some sharp cheddar, and I'll blend that in as well. So I kind of do my own blend. I probably could have used just a little bit bigger skillet, but I think this is going to hold it. So now both of these are going to go into the oven for 350 degrees between 20 and 25 minutes. At this point, all you're looking to do is melt the cheese. Everything else is cooked. So let's get that in. I'll start with this casserole dish first. And then I'm going to go with our skillet. They both fit in there. I will bring you back in about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes. I'm going to cut my oven off. I took a peek earlier and the cheese has melted. This is our keto taco casserole. And here is our chicken fajita casserole. Those look fantastic. Let's see how many servings we get out of the chicken fajita casserole. So normally these dishes are about a 2-person serving. They're about 35 ounces. And sometimes there's even enough left over for me to have lunch the next day. It all depends on how hungry we are. So I'm just going to scoop some out. It might not look as pretty in the dish once we get it in there, but that's okay. Let's see just how much we can scoop, hopefully without making a mess. Wow. That looks and smells so good. Obviously this has a lot of cheese, a lot of ooey gooey goodness. Links to the products I use in this video will be in the notes below. That looks so good. So there we go. We have 3 2-person meals out of this one casserole. So let me set these to the side so they can cool, and then we'll do the keto taco casserole. See how messy it is. I didn't do too bad. Check out the links above if you're interested in more keto-friendly or low-carb recipes. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon.